Okay, we're at full complement. Commissioner Holden, would you lead us in the flag salute, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Public notice, please.
Adequate public notice has been given pursuant to the Open Publics Meeting Act. Notice have been posted at the board's office and have been delivered to the Department of State and to newspapers of broad circulation within the state.
Thank you. Roll call.
Commissioner Holden.
Here.
Commissioner Solomon. Here. Commissioner Chivukula.
Here.
Commissioner Gordon. Here. President Fiorliso.
Here. Next regularly scheduled meeting.
Our next meeting is scheduled for Friday, June 21st at 10 a.m., Committee Room 4, Trenton.
Thank you. I just have a couple of items that I'd like to mention. The first one is I want to thank the governor and the state legislature, particularly the Senate, for the governor for renominating me and the Senate for confirming my renomination. So fortunately or unfortunately, you're going to be stuck with me for a while. And I look forward to continuing the work with my colleagues to move New Jersey's clean energy program forward. So thank you. I want to make also everyone aware that item 8B in the matter of Formosa Plastics USA, verified petition for emergent relief to extend construction deadline, has been deferred. Also, item 8D has been deferred, and that is in the matter of a petition of Public Service Electric and Gas Company for approval of its clean energy, future energy efficiency program on a regulated basis. I would also like to introduce one member of our staff who is new, Kathy Newhauser. She is joining our Division of Clean Energy as an administrative assistant. We also have a rather large contingent of interns this year who have just started working with us a week or so ago. And at this time, I would like to ask them each to stand and tell us their name, which college they attend or recently graduated from, or which BPU division they're working in. So I understand you're all over there. So why don't you start? Now project so everybody can hear you. We can't, you got it louder, please.
Hi, my name is Tony Standard. I'm recently graduated from university, and I currently do the office secretary.
Hi, my name is Nasar Kadir. I am currently training under Mike Camera at the Water Division. I attend Rutgers University. Prior to attending Rutgers University, I transferred from Hudson County Community College.
Well, thank you very much, and welcome. I hope your experience, and I know I'm speaking for my colleagues here, is a profitable one for you in a number of ways. And I hope that at the conclusion of your internship, you think about maybe coming back and working with us or going into the utility industry, because energy is where it's at right now. And it's an exciting field that continues to evolve every single day. And I assure you of one thing, you'll never be bored with it. So it's something you might want to consider.
And your names are now on the official record of voters.
That's right. Very good. Any of my colleagues have any opening statements?
I just want to congratulate you for your reappointment, and that's a great thing. Also, I'd like to welcome all the interns. I'd like to see at the end of your term, you come and make some presentation of what you learned and any new ideas you have that we can take it forward. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. Consent agenda, I guess we're up to.
On consent agendas, items 2A, 3A, 4A, 7A, and the minutes from the May 8th, 2019 agenda meeting.
So moved.
Roll call?
Commissioner Holden?
Yes.
Commissioner Solomon?
Yes.
Commissioner Chivukula?
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon? President Fiorelliso?
Yes.
Approval of the following executive session minutes from the October 15, 2015, items 2E and 2F.
Mr. President, I'm going to be abstaining from those matters as I was not a member of the board in 2015.
Okay. Good reason.
So moved.
Roll call?
Commissioner Holden?
Yes.
Commissioner Solomon? Yes. Commissioner Chivukula?
I say yes. I just want to make sure that I was at the meeting. Yes, want to make sure.
Okay. President Fiorelliso?
Yes. Thank you. One other thing before we get to the regular agenda, as I'm sure most of you know, the draft Energy Master Plan was just released on Monday. We will be having additional stakeholder meetings, and our hope is that the Energy Master Plan will be in its final form by the end of the year. I think this plan will be vital to putting New Jersey on the path of 100% clean energy by 2050. I think it will reflect new goals for our state, which include growing a clean energy economy, ensuring reliability and affordability for all energy customers, reducing the state's carbon footprint, and advancing new technologies for all New Jersey residents. The creation and rollout of the Energy Master Plan would not have been possible without the tireless effort of our BPU staff, who did an outstanding job. The team has contributed tremendously to assuring that we have a very thoughtful and effective plan. Now that the draft Energy Master Plan has been released, staff will continue to gather, as I said, stakeholder input over the next several months. And our goal is to have the final Energy Master Plan completed by the end of the year. So on behalf of the board, I want to thank those staff members who contributed countless hours and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to get that draft done and released yesterday. So thank you. Okay, our regular agenda. There is nothing to consider in audits. Energy. Stacy.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Agenda item 2A relates to the final report submitted by Bates White for the 2019 Basic Generation Service Auctions. Staff has determined that with the submittal of its final report, the contractual obligations of Bates White to the board have been fulfilled. The report has been reviewed by the Energy Division and found to be complete. Bates White expressed concern relating to PJM's efforts to redesign its capacity market and any impact it may have on future BGS auctions. As no final decision has been made by FERC as of today, Bates White has recommended that in the event FERC actions necessitate action in our auction process, that the EDCs notify staff and rate counsel immediately to engage in discussions. Staff recommends that the report be accepted for filing by the board and that the redacted version be made available to the public via the board's website. Staff also recommends the board direct the Division of Treasury to provide final payment to Bates White for its work on the 2019 auctions.
So moved.
Comments? Yes, sir.
Yeah, one of the things, Stacy, in the report, they said that they highlighted that there's a concern with respect to what the PJM action is going to have. Is there anything we can do for planning for that? We don't know what it is, so.
Staff has been engaged in discussions with the EDCs, Bates White, and Rate Counsel for the past several months, and we're kind of in a holding pattern right now until FERC and PJM figure it out. But we continue to meet to get updates and to see where we're going to, what we need to do going forward.
Anyone else? Roll call.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden?
Yes.
Commissioner Solomon? Commissioner Chivukula?
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon? Yes. President Fiorelliso?
Yes. 2B regards a dispute.
Correct. Agenda item 2B relates to a November 2nd, 2018 petition filed by Mr. Keith Glock seeking monetary reimbursement from PSE&G for a project at the petitioner's home. On December 10th, 2018, PSE&G submitted its answer to the petition. Subsequently, the matter was transmitted to the Office of Administrative Law and assigned to ALJ Judith Lieberman. On April 23rd of 2019, the petitioner and PSE&G executed a stipulation resolving the matter, which the ALJ approved on May 15th of 2019. Staff recommends board approval of the initial decision and the stipulation in this matter.
So moved.
Questions? Comments? Roll call.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden?
Yes.
Commissioner Solomon? Yes. Commissioner Chivukula?
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon? Yes. President Fiorelliso?
Yes. 2C, Stacy, about a filing.
On September 7th of 2018, JCP&L filed a petition seeking review and approval of the amounts included in the company's non-utility generation charge deferred balance to the extent accumulated during calendar year 2017. In the petition, the company projected that, at present rates, the net deferred balance at December 2018 would be an over-recovery of $45.3 million. By order dated October 29th of 2018, the board approved a stipulation that authorized JCP&L to implement provisional rates effective November 1st of 2018. The total annual revenue decrease associated with the provisional rates was approximately $22 million. On May 29th of 2019, the parties executed a stipulation for final rates, requesting the board finalize the provisional rates. As a result of the stipulation, customers will see no change in their monthly bills. Staff recommends the board issue an order adopting the stipulation and directing JCP&L to file tariffs by July 1st.
So moved.
Questions? Comments? Yes.
Just one question here. I missed the briefing. This market transition charge, MTC, is that something that is across the other utilities also? Or is
The other utilities also did have a market transition charge. It was related to the transition out of ADICA.
I see. So
It's a very small component of that.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Roll call.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden?
Yes.
Commissioner Solomon? Yes. Commissioner Chivukula?
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon? President Fiordaliso?
Yes. 2D, Rockland Electric.
On February 1st of 2018, Rockland Electric filed 2 separate petitions seeking approval of its annual true-up of costs and revenues for the calendar year 2017 related to its RGGI surcharge rate components. Subsequently, the company updated its actual expenses and revenues for the filings. As updated, the combined petitions would increase revenues by approximately $1.8 million. On May 24, 2019, the parties executed a stipulation resolving all issues related to both matters. As a result of the stipulation, a typical residential customer will see an increase in their monthly bill of 74 cents. Staff recommends the board approve the stipulation and direct Rockland to file tariffs by July 1st.
So moved.
Questions? Comments? Roll call.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden?
Yes.
Commissioner Solomon? Commissioner Chivukula?
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon? President Fiordaliso?
Yes. Stacy?
On October 29th of 2018, Elizabethtown Gas Company filed a petition seeking approval of a proposed infrastructure investment program, including an associated cost recovery mechanism. Elizabethtown proposed to invest $518 million over a 5-year period. Elizabethtown's proposed projects would replace and retire vintage at-risk mains and associated services, while also upgrading the legacy low-pressure system located primarily in the eastern portion of its service territory. It would also relocate meters from inside homes to outside, would install excess flow valves on the upgraded system, retire district regulators that will no longer be needed, and convert 5 existing master meter systems into individual meters. By order dated December 18th, the board retained this matter and designated Commissioner Chivukula as the presiding officer. Commissioner Chivukula issued a pre-hearing order on March 18th of 2019, setting forth a procedural schedule and ruling on all motions to intervene and participate. Throughout the course of the proceeding, the parties engaged in discovery and discussed the issues in the matter. As a result, on May 30th of 2019, the parties executed a stipulation. The stipulation would allow Elizabethtown to invest approximately $300 million over a 5-year period to replace cast iron and bare steel mains and related services, as well as the installation of excess flow valves. These investments may be recovered through an IIP cost recovery mechanism with annual rate filings. The company will also maintain a minimum base spend throughout the program and will work with staff and rate counsel to retain a program monitor. Staff recommends that the board issue an order approving the stipulation.
So moved.
Questions? Yes.
Stacy, one question. When they talk about the gas meter, they literally move the gas meter outside from inside? Is that?
Some of the meters are located in like the basement of homes.
Right,
This would
yeah.
this would move the meters from inside to out, and the company has agreed to do it in base spend.
Because I had recently, in my own home, that was the case, but they didn't move the meter outside. They put a new meter that which they can read from outside. So I think there's a newer technology available, so I was curious.
A lot of the gas companies have been moving meters to the outside, even if they are using AMR technology.
I see. Okay, thanks.
Any other questions? Comments? Roll call.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden?
Yes.
Commissioner Solomon? Commissioner Chivukula?
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon? President Fiordaliso?
Yes. Thank you, Stacy. There are no items under cable TV or telecommunications or water or reliability and security or customer assistance. So that brings us to clean energy. Sarah? 8A, pertaining to energy efficiency incentives for the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey.
Yes, and Ben's actually going to present this.
Ben?
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
So this is for the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. The Port Authority of New York and New Jersey submitted an application under the Large Energy Users Program requesting board approval of a financial incentive of $346,924.64. The agency desires to install energy conservation measures at Newark Airport that have a total cost of $8,142,431. This application outlines several different energy conservation measures. The agency proposes to install upgraded HVAC controls on their existing systems at Terminal B and at Building 80. They will add variable frequency drives, upgraded motors, and new carbon dioxide sensors that will conserve energy while maintaining safe ventilation levels. The project also intends to replace the existing chiller system and chilled water pumps in Building 80 with higher efficiency models, and upgrade the existing exterior lighting at numerous locations with more efficient LED fixtures and lamps. Annually, this project is anticipated to conserve 3,097,908 kilowatt hours of electricity, as well as 86,564 therms of natural gas. This project will also reduce peak electrical demand by 527 kilowatts annually. The proposed project will have an estimated annual energy cost savings of $439,998, as well as an annual operation and maintenance savings of $158,670. The payback period without incentives is 13.6 years, and when factoring in the incentives, the payback period is reduced to 11.4. Staff recommends the approval of the application for the total estimated incentive amount.
So moved.
Questions, comments? Yes.
I think it's a great project, and this is the kind of thing where we need to lead by taking care of our state buildings. Even this is under the aegis of the Port Authority, but the state, our own state buildings, are the ones we've neglected, and this is great savings. Boy, does Newark Airport need help.
And these are big savings that we're going to realize. And energy conservation is the best way to save energy, isn't it? And if we can help folks do that, and so on, it's incumbent upon us to do that, I think. And that's part of the whole plan, to reduce the energy consumption necessary. In a place like Newark International Airport certainly uses a lot of energy in all of its terminals. And I know there are a lot of upgrades going in to that. I know they're building a new Terminal A at Newark Airport. Has anyone from Port Authority reached out regarding that terminal?
No one has yet, but that is a good opportunity for us to follow up with them and see if they would like to participate in some of our other clean energy programs. I think that's a smart idea.
Yeah, good. All right, if there are no other comments or questions, roll call.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden?
Yes.
Commissioner Solomon?
Yes.
Commissioner Chivukula?
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon? President Fiordaliso?
Yes. As I mentioned earlier, 8B has been deferred. That brings us to 8C, determining or pertaining to energy efficiency initiatives for Mack Cali Realty. Ben, you're going to do that too?
I am, yes.
Okay.
So Mack Cali Realty LP submitted an application, which was also a large energy users application, requesting board approval of a financial incentive of $924,835.44. The company wishes to install energy conservation measures at two different locations, 101 Hudson Street in Jersey City, New Jersey, and One Bridge Plaza in Fort Lee, New Jersey. The measures across both locations have a total cost of $1,798,071. In Jersey City, the company wants to install variable frequency drives, or VFDs, to central plant equipment to allow fans and pumps to meet heating and cooling load requirements while conserving energy. Additionally, the building management system will be upgraded to take advantage of the VFDs. In Fort Lee, VFDs will be added to the central chilled water plant system. VFD-driven fans will replace the existing fixed-speed cooling tower fan motor, and the building management system will be upgraded to take advantage of the VFDs in order to optimize efficiency. Put together, the energy conservation measures across both locations are anticipated to conserve 4,583,087 kilowatt hours of electricity annually, and will also reduce peak electrical demand by 207 kilowatts annually. The proposed project will have an estimated annual energy cost savings of $199,037. The payback period without incentives is 9.03 years, and when factoring in the incentives, the payback period is reduced to 4.39 years. Staff recommends approval of the application for the total estimated incentive amount.
So moved.
Questions? Yes.
Yeah, the initial application was on February 6, 2017, and the final certification in 2019. It's about 2 years. It took 2 years. I would like to know why it took so long.
The delays in this case can be explained, well, first of all, the large energy users program often takes a very long time to complete just because they're usually very comprehensive programs that involve a lot of different measures, a lot of different, incentives that they need to meet. And part of the application involves the draft energy efficiency proposal and the final energy efficiency proposal, which is the DEEP and the FEEP, as you may recall from our briefings. And these can often take quite a bit of time to revise if revisions are needed. So the DEEP in this case needed to be revised 3 times in order to make sure that all the program requirements were met appropriately. And each time the company took about 3 months which is the amount of time that they are allotted under the program rules to provide their revisions. And for the FEEP, they had to make an additional 3 revisions, and each time that took them about a month to 2 months to complete. And while it was unfortunate that there was a little bit of time lapse here, the final application was still a very comprehensive, well-rounded program that still met all the requirements, and we think that it's still very much worth granting our incentives to.
Any other questions, comments? Roll call.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden?
Yes.
Commissioner Solomon?
Yes.
Commissioner Chivukula?
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon? Yes. President Fiorliso?
Yes. 8D, as I mentioned, has been deferred to a later date. And that brings us down to 8E, in the matter relating the Clean Energy Act of 2018, specifically energy storage analysis. Jim, is that going to be you?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
The Clean Energy Act required the board to conduct an energy storage analysis in consultation with PJM Interconnection, the independent system operator, and in consultation with stakeholders, including but not limited to third-party suppliers and electric public utilities, and to submit a written report to the governor and legislature within 1 year of the date of the implementation of the Act. The Act required the energy storage analysis to address certain specific elements regarding energy storage. In November of 2018, the board entered into a contract with Rutgers University Laboratory for Energy Smart Systems to conduct the analysis. That analysis was conducted. A final report was submitted on May 23, 2019, in accordance with the Clean Energy Act. Staff has reviewed the report, has determined that it meets all of the elements and all of the requirements of the Clean Energy Act, and that Rutgers University satisfied all of its contractual obligations. Staff recommends that the board accept the report for transmittal to the governor and the legislature, and for release to the public via posting on the board's website.
So moved.
Questions, comments?
Jim, I asked this question in the briefing. The storage is quite expensive, as we see right today, and
Yes,
we need to come up with ways to see how we can best use the storage, so that way we can spread out the cost and make it feasible to comply with the Clean Energy Act of 2018.
Yes, that is correct.
It's a big challenge.
Yes, it is.
I'm looking forward to seeing your final report, and anything I can do to help you, I'd love to do that. Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Roll call.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden?
Yes.
Commissioner Solomon? Yes. Commissioner Chivukula?
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon? Yes. President Fiordaliso?
Yes. And in conjunction with that, if there are no objections from my colleagues, I would like to authorize staff to initiate a proceeding within 6 months of the date that the report was submitted, which, as Jim mentioned, was May 23rd, 2019, to establish a process and mechanism for achieving the goal of 600 megawatts of energy storage by 2021 and 2,000 megawatts of energy storage by 2030. Staff should seek the board's input and stakeholder input in developing the required proceeding processes and mechanisms. Are there any objections to that? If not,
No, I think it's we have to do that because in order to comply with the statute, we have to hold the hearings and we have to come up with a plan. It's going to be quite a challenging task as we see, given the price of storage in the marketplace. Hopefully by 2021 they come down a little bit, I guess.
yeah, hopefully as the years go by, all of this is going to come down in price. And I think there's good indication, if we can use solar as an example, that all of these technologies will eventually decrease in price, which is going to be beneficial to the ratepayer, no question. Okay. Brings us to 8F, a waiver of an SREC registration rule. Paul?
Good morning, Commissioners. Item 8F involves Colonial Pipeline and is a request for a second extension of the initial conditional registration. Initially, Public Service had approved the connection for this project, but it was rescinded because it was determined that it was PJM jurisdictional. That matter has been pending. Previous extension expired, and we understand that the project is substantially complete and pending the PJM approval, and that the company has been working on that, and it is not essentially not any fault of their own that they haven't been able to get it. But based upon that, staff recommends that the board grant a 3-month second extension to August 2nd, 2019, subject to additional conditions that are included in the order.
So moved.
Questions? Yes.
So one question, yeah. You think the 3 months will be sufficient? Because, I think it's something to do with the interconnection.
Our understanding is that they will have it within the 3 months. That's what the company has told us. So
I hope you're right.
I hope they do too, but that's
right. Also, how do you make sure that in the future, PS is quite an experienced utility. This type of information or misinformation can be avoided. Yeah.
Well, I think we typically look at those things. I think this is kind of one of those just bad set of circumstances. Typically, the developers would know that as well, what they're going to connect to, and so would Public Service. And for whatever reason, there was a misunderstanding or a miscommunication here, because they actually went and gave it to them, and then they had to take it back. So I don't think that typically happens. We'll keep our eye out for it as well, though.
Yes.
Yeah, my understanding is that this is sort of a one-off situation, that it's not something that we should expect to be seeing on a regular basis.
No.
In terms of, what's in the pipeline and how people normally proceed with these projects.
Right.
That this is a unique situation that we're
Right.
granting here, and that it shouldn't be construed as something that we as a board are recommending to industry to pursue, correct?
That's correct, yes.
It's a very good point. In other words, we're not in any way setting any kind of precedent here, and we expect these things normally to go smoothly, and but there are always hiccups along the way with any project, but it's in no way going to bind the board in future decisions. Each case individually evaluated.
Yes, that is our recommendation.
Any other questions, comments? Roll call.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden?
Yes.
Commissioner Solomon? Commissioner Chivukula?
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon? President Fiordaliso?
Yes. There are no items under miscellaneous. So I'm sorry to say, I think this meeting is over, so we will adjourn.